Have you ever felt like a high-performance athlete, giving your all, but at the end of the day, you find yourself exhausted and drained of energy, no matter how much time you've dedicated to your tasks? If so, this summary is for you. Get ready to discover why the key to high productivity and personal satisfaction isn't about managing time, but about mastering your energy. I invite you to fully immerse yourself in this summary of The Power of Full Engagement by Jim Loehr and Tony Schwartz. Each chapter will break down the book's core ideas and, even better, offer you practical, straightforward recommendations so you can start implementing these transformative teachings in your own life today. Ready to recharge your batteries and live with full engagement? As an introduction, the authors challenge us to a radical paradigm shift, to stop obsessing over time management and start understanding that the true driver of our performance and well-being is the management of our energy. Our maximum potential and true personal renewal depend not on how many hours we work, but on the quality and renewal of our energy in 4 crucial dimensions: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. Join us on this journey of self-discovery and transformation, which will provide you with a practical framework to maximize your vitality and impact. Chapter 1: The Full Engagement Crisis. The book begins with a stark diagnosis. Despite living in an age of unlimited information and advanced technology, many of us feel overwhelmed, disconnected, and chronically burned out. The authors illustrate this reality with the case of a high-performing executive who, despite enviable professional achievements, feels deeply disconnected from his family and experiences persistent burnout. The root of this problem is not a lack of time, but the constant erosion of our vital energy. The real solution is not simply getting more rest, but learning to renew our energy consciously and strategically. To implement these ideas, some things you might consider is honestly reflect on your current energy levels. Where do you experience the greatest burnout? Are you prioritizing the quantity of hours worked over the quality and state of your energy? Start seeing burnout not as a failure, but as a clear sign that you need to implement renewal strategies. Chapter 2: The Origins of Energy. Here, the 4 interconnected domains of energy are presented: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. To explain their interdependence, the example of an elite athlete is used. This athlete not only rigorously trains his body for strength and endurance, but also cultivates a positive and resilient mindset in the face of challenges, strategically focuses on his goals and perfects his technique, and finds a deep purpose and meaning in his sport. Transcending mere victory. The book argues that to achieve sustainable performance and a fulfilling life, we must develop the ability to expend and, crucially, renew energy in each of these domains. To implement these ideas, some things you might consider is conduct an honest self-analysis of your 4 energy domains. In which do you feel strongest, and in which do you detect a greater need for attention? Understand that neglecting one domain will inevitably negatively impact the others. Chapter 3: Physical Energy. The Pulse of High Performance, Stress, and Recovery. This chapter is the cornerstone of the book, introducing the fundamental concept of the balance between stress and recovery. The human body operates under natural ultradian rhythms, cycles of approximately 90 to 120 minutes. During these periods, our concentration and energy peak. Stress phase, or energy expenditure, followed by a phase in which the body and mind need to recover and recharge, recovery phase, or renewal phase. To illustrate, they return to the example of the elite athlete. This athlete not only trains with extreme intensity, but also meticulously schedules specific periods of rest, proper nutrition, and deep sleep. Without this conscious alternation, the athlete would quickly burn out, run the risk of injury, and their performance would decline. Applied to the professional world, the book describes the professional who tries to work non-stop for hours, turning to caffeine and sugars to stay active, only to experience drastic drops in energy and chronic fatigue. This happens because they ignore these bodies' natural rhythms. The central proposal is to apply this principle to our daily lives. Work intensely and with focus for 90 to 120 minutes, and then take a meaningful break to recharge. This disciplined oscillation between expenditure and renewal is the true key to maintaining high energy levels, focus, and sustained commitment. To implement these ideas, some things you might consider is identify your periods of greatest concentration and use them to tackle tasks that demand the highest level of energy and focus. After 90 to 120 minutes of intensive work, be sure to take a real break and disengage. Step away from the screen, walk, stretch, meditate briefly to allow your body and mind to recover before starting the next wave of work. Chapter 4. Emotional Energy. The Quality of Our Lives. This chapter explores the transcendental importance of cultivating positive emotions, such as patience, resilience, gratitude, and joy. The case is presented of a manager who, under constant pressure, tends to become easily irritated and frustrated, negatively impacting not only his own well-being but also the morale and performance of his team. The book suggests that we can train our emotional muscles through mindful practices, such as expressing gratitude, practicing empathy, or re-evaluating stressful situations. Developing the ability to manage our emotions constructively and choosing those that propel us forward is crucial for a fulfilling life and sustained performance. To implement these ideas, some things you might consider is identify the emotions that drain you and those that energize you. Spend time daily practicing exercises that cultivate positive emotions, such as writing in a gratitude journal or visualizing pleasant scenarios. Learn to consciously distance yourself from stressful situations to better manage your emotional responses and avoid reactivity. Chapter 5. Mental Energy. The Power of Focus. This chapter focuses on our ability to concentrate, think clearly, and plan strategically. The example used is that of a student who, despite spending countless hours in the library, is constantly distracted by their phone, social media, or scattered thoughts, which prevents them from learning effectively and focusing deeply on their studies. The authors emphasize the need to develop mental muscle through practices such as visualizing goals, prioritizing key tasks, and actively minimizing distractions. Creating predictable and focused rituals helps us stay on task, think more clearly, and be more efficient. To implement these ideas, some things you might consider is create an environment that minimizes visual and auditory distractions. Implement blocks of time dedicated exclusively to tasks that require deep focus, eliminating all possible interruptions. Practice visualizing your goals and the steps to achieve them to keep your mind clear and aligned. Chapter 6. Spiritual Energy. The Power of Purpose. Considered the deepest and most sustainable source of energy, spiritual energy refers to our sense of purpose, our core values, and the meaning we give to our lives. The book presents the case of a successful entrepreneur who, despite having achieved all his material and professional goals, feels empty and lacking a clear direction. It argues that aligning with our deepest values and living in accordance with a higher purpose provides us with an inexhaustible source of motivation, resilience, and fulfillment. Discovering and honoring what truly matters to us deep within our being is key to full and lasting engagement in all aspects of life. To implement these ideas, some things you might consider are spend time in deep introspection to reflect on your core values and life purpose. Make sure your daily actions and decisions are aligned with what truly matters to you and gives you meaning. If you're still not clear, seek out spaces for meditation, writing, or conversation to connect with your deepest why. Chapter 7. Creating Positive Rituals. This highly practical chapter teaches how to integrate all the above concepts through the creation of energy rituals. The authors use the example of elite athletes who have meticulously designed routines before, during, and after their competitions to maximize their performance and ensure optimal recovery. They extend this idea to everyday life, suggesting that we can design our own daily rituals such as a nutritious and mindful breakfast, a short morning meditation, a midday walk, or a wind-down ritual at night to systematically recharge our 4 types of energy. These rituals, when they become automatic habits, require less willpower and become powerful tools for renewal. To implement these ideas, you might consider identify 1 or 2 areas where you feel you need more energy and design a simple, consistent ritual to address them. For example, if you need more physical energy, a ritual could be a brisk 10-minute walk after every hour and a half of work. Chapter 8. Training for Full Engagement. The book concludes by reinforcing the idea that energy management is not a one-time event, but rather a lifelong, ongoing training process. Just as an athlete trains rigorously for a marathon, we must train for the marathon of life. We are encouraged to adopt a growth mindset. Recognize that renewal is a continuous cycle of expenditure and recovery, and be flexible and adaptable in the face of challenges. The final example is of a person who, after applying the book's principles, not only dramatically improves their performance at work, but also experiences greater connection and satisfaction in their personal relationships and an overall sense of well-being and vitality. The key is pacing discipline, the ability to consciously combine intense effort with relaxation and recovery. To implement these ideas, something you might consider is commit to viewing your energy management as a constant training and an ongoing journey. Don't strive for perfection, but rather incremental improvement day by day. Be patient and compassionate with yourself. Celebrate small advances and adjust your rituals as needed. In conclusion, considering the ideas offered by the power of full engagement can not only give us a powerful new perspective on performance and well-being, but can also help us build a concrete action plan to radically transform our lives. It is a bold invitation to stop being a mere reactant to endless external demands and to take proactive control of your own life energy. It challenges you to live a more intentional life, to unearth your deepest purpose, and to nourish every facet of your being to unleash your full potential. Are you ready to stop running life's race exhausted and start living it with full commitment, boundless energy, and genuine satisfaction? The choice is yours. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like and subscribe for more ideas in a nutshell.